Faith in God, perseverance, yeah. Hey, you gon' make it, yeah, just keep on waiting. Hey, let that hating be your motivation. Hey, you gon' make it, yeah, just keep on praying, cause God can hear everything you say, yeah. He can hear you, man. Hey, you gon' make it, yeah, just keep on waiting.
Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for tuning back in. Today we're going to be mixing up and spraying our 2K primer on the F250 that we fixed the dings on. Now this is a quart size hardener slash activator, and we know that it's a quart, we know this is a gallon, so therefore we know that it's a 4-to-1 mixture. Of course, you can look up the things on the back, you can go into it in detail, find out more about your product, but we know that it is a 4-to-1 because of the size that it comes in the kit that you purchase it in. I'm really happy with this material. It's pretty heavy, it's pretty thick primer. I've been using it for a little while now. No, the can is not that old, it's just the environment that I had it in at the time, but it's actually a fairly new can. I'll kind of run through this stuff pretty regular, but it's some very, very good primer. It's very thick. Again, we're going to be mixing it 4-to-1. You just need your paint cup, you need your mixing stick, and we're going to get to it. The primer is going to go here, the hardener is going to go here. See, we got different measurements. If you only needed a little bit, then you could actually do, you know, whatever you go to on that first bar, which would be 1, you're going to go, of course, to the 1. If you're going to go to 2, you're going to go to 2, 3 to 3, and so forth. We're going to go ahead and give us, we're going to go ahead and pour up all the way to a 6. Now, if you were to reduce this, you can reduce it by half. You would go primer, hardener, reducer, just to thin it out a little bit, to get you a little bit better flow. But I spray it as is. I spray it with the 4-to-1 mix. I don't add any reducer because I want it thick, so we have a little build up in case we left any scratches behind from the sanding. You know, we did finish off the glaze sanding with a 320 grit sandpaper, so we want to get as much filled in as we can when it's an overall paint job. Remember, this is going to be black, so black's going to pick up a lot of scratches, and plus it's got metallics in it. Metallics will gravitate towards those scratches and imperfections, so we need to make sure we fill it in properly. Therefore, I'm not going to put any type of reducer into this mixture here. I'm going to spray it as is. As far as what I'm spraying with, I'm going to be using a Harbor Freight 1.3 HVLP. Now, the 1.3, no, it's not big enough tip. I did have a 1.7. Right now I'm using a 1.3 HVLP from Harbor Freight, cheap little $13.99 gun. You grab you one. What I did was I grabbed a drill bit. Please forgive me if I'm mistaken. I don't really remember, but I want to say it was a 5/16 drill bit, I believe I used. That might be too big. 5/16, quarter inch, yeah, that might be too big. Maybe it was a 5/32. It was a little bit. I got to find it. I'll show it to you on my next video just so I won't forget. I want to let you guys in on that. I just took my time, drilled out the nozzle in it, and it actually widened it up enough, and I used the same needle, didn't change nothing out on that. The needle actually was able to fit through, and now it's pretty much like a 1/7. See that needle going in there? See if it focuses in. I just drilled out that hole. I took this out, drilled out from the inside out. So yeah, it's good. Works perfect actually. No runs. It doesn't, you know, give a lot of orange, and it doesn't really matter if it orange peels a little bit because you're going to sand it down smooth anyway. That's the purpose of putting your primer on, and plus we're going to have the guide coat, but we'll get to there in just a minute. Give me a second, let me mix this stuff up. Real thick, guys, real thick stuff right here. We stopped right there on the number 6. Put our lid back on that. Now we're going to add hardener to the number 6 right here. And we're going to stop there. Once we got that in there, we're going to mix this really well. The hardener's automatically going to thin it down just a little bit, but it's still really, really thick stuff, guys. You know, once you find a primer that you want to use, that you find one, just make sure it's real thick. You know, when you go buy it and you purchase your primer, there's many of them out there. Just make sure you get a 2K primer. They have 1K primers, but they shrink a lot. They dry quickly, but it's not a high build 1K. These are real high build. You want to let it dry for a while though, versus a spray can 1K primer that you can pick up at your auto parts store. You know, that might dry here about 15-20 minutes. They're good for maybe small little touch-ups on the top if you got a couple little scratches, but I don't recommend anything 1K at all. You want to do 2K everything. 2K meaning everything has a hardener. You don't want they have primers out there that you can put directly from the can. You can go from can to cup, can to cup. No, we're not doing that. You got to make sure you put some type of hardener, some type of activator in it. That'll be your 2K. Now that that's mixed up, what I did was, yes, I can use Harbor Freight's actual cup, but what I did was, since I'm using the Harbor Freight gun, Harbor Freight sells the disposable cup. I went ahead and got me some. I think they're like maybe $4 for a pack. They're these things right here. These cups here. Spray gun disposable paint cups. There is 5 pieces. So you got 5 cups, 5 lids. Now, I do not recommend spraying paint with these. So if you have a really good gun that actually fits this nozzle and you're thinking you're doing good by getting away, because you can get a box of disposable lids and liners, and disposable lids and liners, that's what I'm gonna be spraying my paint with. They come in these right here. This is your lid, this is your liner, and you put your lids in there, and you got liners in there, and you got your lid that goes on here, and these go on your gun. I have an Iwata Supernova, and that's what I'm gonna be painting with and clear coating with, the WS400. But see, this right here, the lids and liners that come in here, you can buy a 50 pack of lids and liners, they're real thin. They run you around $100, $125 depending where you get them from. 3M products. These things right here, you get 5 of them for, hey, $5, $4. But I do not recommend, again guys, I do not recommend spraying paint with these. Reason being, these right here are plastic like the rest of the cup. These little nozzles, they do not seal good in the gun and they leak. I tried it one time, trying to get away, trying to do the easy route and spray clear. Clear dripped out. When clear gets on clear, you can't do nothing about it, but let it dry, sand it out, buff it out, or re-clear it again. So no deal. Primer, hey, I'm not really tripping on that. So that's what we're gonna use. Just a cup and your lid. Screwed on the gun. And it comes with these. You can take these off. It's like an adapter, but we don't need that because the Harbor Freight gun's got it on there. But it's still plastic. It leaks. Don't do it. It might not seem like it leaks at first, but remember, being that it's plastic and you're using a heavy material such as primer, then it's pretty heavy and it might bend a little bit. Just don't do it, guys. Just take my word for it. Don't do it. Primer, hey, go for it. Okay, so we got the cup on the gun. We're gonna put a strainer on there and get any junk, any heavy lumps that might be in the primer, get them out of there, and we're just going to pour it inside our cup. Again, these primers come in different prices. You can find a kit, which is be the primer and the activator, for around $100. Some are 150, some are 200, just depending on the brand. Folks, just get some good 2K primer. You don't want to go the cheap route, especially, if you're trying to really show out and do a good job. You want something that's going to lock up really well. It's got good coverage, and most importantly, you ain't got to make too many passes because it's thick material. All right, let's spray this primer.
Got a plan for you, God got a plan for you. He got a plan for you, God got a plan for you. He got a plan for you. They said I wouldn't.